Hi guys.
CHIG Season 3 intro.
So this is CHIG, and we are coming back with another episode. And
Another season, another episode of another
exactly,
season.
exactly. Another season. This is the new season, and we have Yadi on my left, and I am myself Chandra Karnakaran. To my right, we have our guest. His name is Gaman. Let's welcome Gaman to the podcast.
Yeah,
Hello,
you must say you should do the
Hello.
CHIG.
Sorry guys, I didn't learn this earlier. Yeah. Gaman, what do you do in this realm of music? We all know you're a musician.
I am mainly I'm a singer songwriter. I'm a guitarist. I'm a
Okay.
music producer. Those are my main.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, in terms of being a guitarist, you play all the varieties of guitar. Like, are you a specialist in a certain?
I am not a specialist in any of them. I don't want to call myself
Specialist is an illusion.
Specialist is a
Okay, I'm sorry. Maybe I shouldn't use that term. Like, which instrument would you love to play in the family of guitar?
Like I love playing bass. I love playing, but mainly I think it depends on what I'm trying to achieve, what kind of sound I'm going for. But I like playing the electric guitar. I know that's like so vast because there's so much you can do with an electric guitar,
True.
and you have so many genres. So if I like, like if you ask me what genre, I won't give you an answer because that's just my obsession for music is on such a wide spectrum that it's impossible for me to say, hey, I play only this. I mean, I love to play everything. Would I say that I'm the best or I'm a specialist at everything? No. But if you ask me to play something, I could.
That's
Yeah.
really. How did this journey inside music start for you?
Okay. So basically, I was about 4 years old when when my parents decided to get me into music.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
Basically, my mom actually decided to get me into everything. So whatever hobbies there were in school, she threw me into everything except roller skating, which is the one thing I wanted to do. She put me in elocution, okay. So then but she got me a baby guitar, okay. Like it's still at home. So sentimental. So then I wasn't necessarily fully serious. I had a teacher who used to come like in my nursery school. He was really good, so his name was Godfrey. So he used to come and teach me. I never through 4, 5, 6, 7 it was difficult for me to process, I wasn't that he was not that interested, I was not that interested, for the first 3 years. At 7 they asked me to play Mary Had a Little Lamb, okay, for one Independence Day concert. I bombed, bro. I bombed, okay. I couldn't play anything, dude. I was like, ta, 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 that's it. I left it there. Okay. I don't know why at some point in class 5, I think I was 9 or 10 years old, 2 things happened, dude. One is I saw that movie School of Rock. Okay. That movie is genuinely a very eye-opening thing for people who want to get into some form of music. Like you're just like, wow, I want to learn. This is cool. As a musician. And 2, the second thing was again another musical music performance came, and there were 3 people. And the other girl and I had the same teacher, and there was this other guy, okay, and he was actually he was partially blind, okay, and so then they got me to play. I was terrible. They got the girl to play. She was actually good, but she was scared, so she was terrible. But then the guy who was blind, who was in my class, name was Akshay, he played great. So then my guitar teacher got upset about it. And then I, like, he made me feel a little weird about it. And then, like, I saw this guy play, and then I got a little inspired by him. And then suddenly something in my switch, like, flipped. I was like, I wanna be good.
Nice.
Like, and then I just started the one thing that musicians should always do: practice.
Correct.
I
Practice.
just started practicing, dude. Whatever I could find, like, I just started building. My music teacher for first 4 years to 5 years, like, he was like so uninterested. He would be falling asleep. All of a sudden, he's like, dude, who are you, dude? Yeah, me. He's like, where did you come from? Because, like, I was suddenly showing interest. I was suddenly showing passion. I was suddenly showing work ethic. And every time he came, I would like finish and I would come up with like new ideas. And I'm like, yo, what do you think of this? At like the age of 9, 10. And then like within like 1 to 2 years, my growth was rapid. It was quick. Like I was like, I was flying. And then the problem was there was other shit that would happen in my life. And then like playing guitar became a source of meditation for me. Like in the sense like it became like a really like therapeutic thing where I would like fall back and like use it to just like whatever is on my mind, it's like, it's just staying in the moment and coming out. So
That's awesome.
yeah. So then like I just kept doing that, and then eventually I tried to do the BCom thing. That never worked. I went 1 year,
You
one and
need
a
to
half.
have one bachelor's degree that shows that we are the bachelor.
Yeah. My parents were like, go to bachelor's. I did bachelor's. I got out of 9 subjects, I had 8 arrears. Okay, in my first year. Okay, the only subject I didn't fail was English. Okay, but then after 1.5 years, I realized that this is not for me. Like I first initially didn't want to take music up seriously. I wanted it to be a fallback option because of how comforting it was to my, well-being. But then like after a certain point I came to a conclusion that like dude, like it's not making sense, but this is making sense. Maybe I should do this. And for me, who was strictly like a musician who knew nothing about music theory, about production, who only knew about the guitar and not even completely, it was kind of a big risk and challenge for me to jump in and like take a full blown out call. Even though my parents were supportive, it was a risk for me to come out and say like, yeah, I want to be a full-time musician. It was, but I did it, and like I did it with like the same enthusiasm and the same like drive as when I was like 9, 10 when I started practicing. And that's why I am, to some level, I can call myself a professional musician.
The thing is, all people who have this mindset of getting good at it, they'll not initially, even through their professional career years, they will never admit that they are good. They're like, you're still practicing. We have to still get better. And
Yeah, that's what.
that's
Like,
always the case.
yeah, I have major imposter syndrome. People be like, "You played so well." I'm like, no, no, my standards are somewhere, bro. See that perfectionism mentality, I think, is what separates someone who is doing this as a job versus someone who is not doing it as a job and is doing it as a hobby. Because like at some point like you come to the stage where like if you are like you're okay with like, yeah, I'm good with myself, like, and I'm okay, right? Like it ends there, versus like versus someone like us in the music industry. You can't do that. You think that if you ever think you're good enough, right, there'll always be someone. First of all, you're never the best. There is always someone better than you. Okay, that when that, like, the earlier you face that reality, the better. Because if you go into your life thinking that like I am the best, like the reality will hit you really badly. But like there's always someone better than you, and if you're not improving yourself in an industry that is constantly changing and constantly evolving, and finding new ways and innovative ideas to like make music and then be better, someone will come and overtake you, and then you will find yourself in a place where you are not getting called or you are not finding gigs.
Very true. People confuse themselves. So on stage, should I have this mentality that I'm not someone who's good enough, or like they confuse whatever you said to that? On stage, you are the best. You have to think I'm playing the best. But once you finish the performance,
Exactly.
once you finish the performance, then whether you're evaluating it by looking at it or not,
Yeah.
you have to evaluate yourself. How did I perform?
Exactly.
That's the point he was trying to make. On stage,
Yes.
you're going to rule.
Yes, I completely
On
agree.
stage, it's your world.
I was my girlfriend and I were having a conversation the other day. She's just generally asking me about what is it like being in the music industry? What is it like being on stage? What is it like recording in a studio? Okay. Firstly, for me, based off of my experience, recording in an Indian studio is fast. Like I think
That's
it's
very
quick.
true.
It just goes like bam, bam, bam. It's efficiency. Like I love it. I love the speed at which you track. So I was just telling her, like, when you're on stage and when you're like doing that, the one thing you cannot have imposter syndrome in that moment. In that moment, you cannot think that, oh, I'm good enough. Like, I tell her that, like, there is no room for doubt.
True.
You have to mentally zone that part out and you have to be like, whatever it is, I will do it. And that's all.
Yeah,
exactly.
And you get on stage, there will be times when you get on stage, you won't know the song. You just have to play. You use your ear, you use your experience and your intuition to just go.
Especially for musicians, like especially like people like keyboardists and guitarists.
Yeah.
They'll change the scale.
They'll change the scale. So I will she I'll have a singer. I'll be doing a wedding gig. Okay. She'll just come and then she'll be like, play C. Okay. You'll play C. She'll be like, no. D sharp minor, this song, let's go. And I'm like, you mentally just like, okay, fine, I'll transpose it right now, let's play. You have to figure out the lines, you have to figure out whatever it is, and then you just have to play. It's fun. But it's fast. You have to be fast at it. But once you get outside of that, you have to go into like a very reflective zone of like evaluating yourself. Yeah.
Oh, this is quite the process that is broken down. I believe that, a lot of artists that we have brought in, to this place, they are all DIY artists. All right.
Yeah.
So they are all the kind of artists who have sought out inspirations from everything that they have been surrounded with, from people, from, books, as you said, movies. And the way you deconstructed both the professional and personal aspects of being a musician is pretty cool. But that is the truth, because, okay, if you don't mind me going a little deeper into the inspiration aspect, I want to know what part of yourself you saw from School of Rock. So, because that's a very, those things I believe are tools for other independent artists as well. And these are the kinds of tools that, for example, there are some artists who do not have access to professional equipments or professional, softwares to check on, but, movies and, basically just, MP3 players, all of these things are there, for, in terms of access to everybody. So, how did that part of School of Rock help you?
What did I see in School of Rock? I think School of Rock genuinely is it's a beautiful film. I think I saw somebody who taught a bunch of children to believe in themselves to some extent. There's one scene where the girl comes and she's like, hey, I want to be a singer to Jack Black, and then she starts singing and she's so good at it. But then I don't know, somewhere deep down, up until then I was never interested. Okay, I always loved music. I loved listening to music. I loved how emotional music made me feel. But up until that point, I wasn't so invested, into it, because I genuinely thought somewhere that I couldn't do it. But then after School of Rock, it's not that I thought I couldn't do it. It showed me that it's possible to do it for children, mentally. I was like, oh, it is possible to do this. And then the next thing was, since it was possible, I wanted to do it. I wanted to do it. So then when it was I want to do this is something that is inspiring me, and I need to recreate this. that's when it started. That's when then like the practice happened.
I think in School of Rock, they portrayed a very good part of mentorship
Yeah.
and teaching students that. Have you had an experience where you had a very prominent mentor in your life, a person that you can, look towards in terms of skill building sorts? And if you did, how was that experience?
A mentor.
Mentor, teacher,
Hmm.
anything of that sort.
Man, that is tough because I'm not saying that in like a bad way. I'm not saying that the teachers I had were bad or like, this thing in any way. It's just that we as a society, like even children, like especially in India, are taught to be so self-critical. Most of our teachers today are also extremely like critical of you. So it's tough to be a mentor that is actually like inspiring. It's also rare to find, Godfrey, my guitar teacher, was a great mentor, but like he inspired me after he saw that I was inspired. But
Yeah.
before that, he wasn't. And then working with children is like a completely different ball game. It's tough. So
Yeah.
I don't blame anyone. If I had to like genuinely like if I had to go into it, if there was genuinely one person who I would like, who two people actually, were my professors at Berklee College of Music. One was his name was Colin, who was my guitar teacher, and the other one was Colin Sapp, and then David Giles, who was my vocal teacher. Beautiful human beings and very, very like good teachers because Colin, like, at one point, like this was before an exam, I had to do a mock test with him and I failed the mock test. It was just I was just not mentally there. Okay. And I sat down with him and then I told him, man, I'm not here, you know. And then he gave he was a very nice teacher. And then he gave me just this like really this this like real talk, which was like, hey, something like I've gone through so much today. I've been like he wasn't comparing, but he was like, this happened to me, this happened to me, this happened to me, and like I have to do this, I have to do this. But at 9 o'clock, I have to go and perform this gig. Right? I have to go and do it. And like, if I'm going to sit here and like tell you that like, dude, like I'm not mentally there, I won't be able to go do that gig. Sometimes you just have to do the job. He just hit me with that reality and he's like, because that's what we do. We do it because we love it. And like you have to do the job. Just go finish it and get out. And he's like, because if you come here with doubt and you come here with all of your problems, you'll never be able to do it. You need to shut that out and you need to be just able to focus and do it. I took his advice very seriously. And I was like, okay, went home, practiced, finished the material, went to my exam, nailed it. I did everything right. Like, both the evaluators were like really impressed. They were like, dude, great job on everything. I sent him an email after that. I was like, hey, man, I took your advice pretty seriously. I was like, I understand what you were saying, you know, like, I just took it seriously and I went and I just did the job. I focused, I did it, I worked on it. And then he came back and then we met and he's like, you know why I was trying to tell you that, right? Because sometimes in your life, if this was a hobby, that would be great. But this is your job. You had an exam. You fail and then it sets you back, and like mental health is like really important, and it is certainly okay to fail, but like sometimes just allocate some time to be mentally strong and just get through it. He gave me that push, that ounce of strength that I had in myself. And the other one, David Giles, was my vocal teacher. Was just I hated my voice for the longest time. I thought that I was never a good singer. He made me genuinely like believe in my voice. He made me stop behaving like other singers, and he's like, "Yo, stop." He'll call me out every second I'm trying to sound like somebody else. He'd be like, "Nah, bro, sound like you, sound like you." It was beautiful. But yeah, those are two mentors I would say who actually inspired me a lot.
Wow.
Personal and professional, you have to be able to at some point like
Split it.
distinguish it, or else take a break.
Yeah.
I think my moral line would be as long as I can actually do the job, get paid, go home, and not feel shit about myself, I'm good about it.
As simple as that.
Nice.
Simple as
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
In the
that's
sense, you have to make sure you're not hurting yourself in the
Exactly,
process of
exactly.
like this thing. I mean, like you, I don't know, you have something really bad going on. You're mentally not there, or like you have some form of like health issue that's happening that's preventing you from like doing it. Then doing the job wouldn't be detrimental.
Yeah,
You know,
got it.
like you have to look at things in the long term also, right? Like, so for me, it's not only about this gig, it's about the consecutive gigs that are going to come after, so I can actually do all of them. If I'm just going to do this gig because I'm a wreck, but I'll do it anyways, and it's going to affect the entire lineup over there, then that's detrimental.
Exactly. His guitar's name is Tulsi, right? I just want to ask you like one question. If Tulsi were alive, what would she say about your life story? Wanted to know.
From the point where Tulsi came into existence in my life,
yes. What would she say about your life story?
I think she'd be happy, bro.
No.
I think she would say she has seen reasonable growth in this person as a human being to some extent.
To some extent. Super.
Yeah.
with guitars, there is this beautiful thing called pedal. Right?
Oh, yeah.
People love their pedals. Some people have pedal boards and stuff. Now, I've always looked at people. I am a violinist, by the way.
Okay.
So while looking at guitarists, I was like, why are these people so passionate about pedals and stuff? I would like to know what's your thing, what's your opinion about pedals, and what pedals do you own and stuff.
Okay, cool. So, here's the thing. Okay. Initially, like, when I first started, like, like back in the day, they used to call it gadget. Okay.
Gadget.
Some people used to call it, I have a gadget. Okay. Which would basically be a small guitar processor. Okay. I wanted one of those, and then like I would get that, I would plug it in, and then I would get that cool distortion sound. Okay. Always using the preset of whatever came. I'm like, distortion, not distortion, cool, rock, I can play, cool, awesome. Never thought much into sound and all of that, And then at some point, I started seeing people have these massive boards, and then like I don't know what's going on over there, Then learning about all of this sound, I met I met this like singer, like songwriter. He was for this Chennai band called Junkyard Groove. Okay, Amit Thomas. So he would shit on people who had pedal boards. Okay, like he's like, Matsa, all of that you don't need. Okay. And like and some of these guys would have huge boards. Okay, so he's like, so he used to call it, he used to insult them because he used to call it gas. Okay. Which stands for gear acquisition syndrome. Okay. Gas. Okay. Like, I mean, I went off on that train for a while. I was like, gas. But then, like, I started getting into like sound. I started like learning about like production and like, like what are you putting on your signal chain? Like, like effects, all of that. And then I started understanding. So then I got into boards.
Nice.
I didn't want to get a very complex board. Okay, like it's just a very simple, compressor, wah pedal, distortion, chorus, delay, reverb. That's it. Okay, so but then like slowly as I started listening to more guitarists, okay, and you start nerding out on sound. The second you start nerding out into audio, right? You will come across one question that you will ask yourself. How can I make this cleaner? Okay.
Yes.
Am I right? Or
That's true.
Yes. Very true.
Yeah. How can I make this cleaner? How can I make this better? How is he getting that sound? How is he getting this tone?
This definitely, because like immediately as you hear something good,
Yeah.
why
don't I have this?
Why my gear is not doing this?
Yeah, why is my gear not doing this? Okay. Then I started searching. I started like researching sound, and then like I was like, oh, okay. Like simply from like the kind of power like supply that you're using, you're like, oh, you have to get an isolated power supply so that the chain is clean. You have to use correct this thing. I started making all my own patch cables. Like I watched a bunch of tutorials. I had the solder with me, like do it. You can do it. It takes,
Awesome. Awesome.
you know.
Mm.
Then I did it, and then like it's huge, you know, like, and it was good because then I was like, I was getting cleaner sound, but I was like, it has to be cleaner, dude. I don't know. I don't know, bro. You watch musicians, no, they'll have like these amazing pedals, okay, and then you look into it, and they'll all cost you like 50 grand, 60 grand each, way more, and I'm like, but I want that, okay. So eventually, I found like currently, which is what I'm getting into. Then I found about like, you know, dry, wet, dry, you know, like how to like split your signal and then like, you know, allocate this, you know, tone just for this, and then you put the others here, you know, all of that. And then I found this pedal. I'm selling all of my current pedals, by the way.
Oh, okay.
All of my
Okay.
pedals I'm currently selling because I sat and invested into a new because it's also the problem with a pedal board like this is I totally understand why artists go for that. They're so obsessed with audio and their sound that they want that tone. It's just for me after a certain point it became an inconvenience because I carry my guitar is not a guitar that I put in a bag. I have a hard case for it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it's a Bixby. So it looks like, you know, it's like one of those Gibson ES 335s, you know, like the one like BB King plays. It's like that. So and then I have a hard case for that because I won't put her in a, you know, gig bag. And then the other I have this and I'm lugging that around. Right. So then at some point I was like,
This is too much.
this is too much, dude. Like I genuinely my respect goes out to every guitarist out there. Okay, because mine is what? Maybe this much. My respect goes out to guitarists who are like carrying that entire pedal board like a trolley through cities just so that they can like maintain that quality of tone. I was like, can't do that. So I invested in this thing called a neural DSP quad cortex.
Very famous with musicians right now, right?
Very, because it has some beautiful functions because like you can achieve your tone the way you want it to. You can keep the tone cleaner and you can also capture like other pedals, you know, like as long as they're not time based. So yeah, I started using that, and like the best part about then that's just this big. So now I just put it in my, you know, bag and then I just walk to a gig. So I don't have one more huge thing to like lug. But if you are someone who likes pedals, good for you because you are someone that means you basically like audio.
Like this is like a question to you know mix engineers. You go and ask them in the box or hardware, and they'll be like both the spectrum. Some people say hardware, some people say in the box. Film mixers are made either ways. So, with that, I would like to ask Gaman one question. How good is neural DSP? Like, is it good enough to be considered like similar to hardware, or is it even better because of the convenience?
They've been like I've watched a lot of videos of like performers and guitarists being like, is the neural DSP as good as like, you know, my pedal board, you know? So they would do like tone comparisons. The beauty of the neural DSP, and this is the reason why, you know, it's so famous and it's slowly becoming like such a widely used thing, is because of this it's because of the capture function that it has. You know,
Capture as
you can capture pedals and you can capture amps.
oh
You know, and like people will people would capture a really old boutique amp and they would upload that to the neural cloud and then you can download that amp so you
That's
can get that very specific amp sound
characteristic of
exactly,
that amp.
you know. So it's not, you don't just have one amp, you have access to multiple amps, you know.
So this cloud thing, is it a subscription based thing or like
If you buy the thing, you have it, it's
Oh,
yours. So it's
that's
not
nice.
subscription based or anything. So here's the thing, is it perfect? No. But is it close? Yes.
Convenient.
Yes. Like most of the people would say that it's like 90% there, 85 to 90% there, which is something which is which for its like convenience is something I'm willing to take.
And in this segment about the product, is no way we are not endorsing or
Yeah,
paid.
you guys buy whatever you want.
Yeah.
I am telling you this
This is
because
out of personal experience.
personal experience. I couldn't deal with the back pain, so I was like, okay, cool.
That's really a good thing.
Really cool. I've seen him perform. I've seen him perform one of we had this open mic event that we had organized along with Cancer Institute, Gindi, and he had performed one of his really, really, beautiful songs. And where I watched him, use that device. I didn't know what it was. I was like, it's a high tech device. It's all flashy. He had like digital signs and all. I was like, he's a fancy guy, man. Obviously, he has some fancy things. But now it makes a lot of sense because for me, in this sense, I feel like I am privileged to be geekified right now to see these kind of equipments also in
So the
play.
thing is, he was functional as well as fancy.
Functionally fancy.
Functionally fancy.
Functionally fancy. And also, one of the songs that he played, I want to mention, is that the songs that he played was featured on the Rolling Stones magazine.
That's
That was the
amazing.
song that was
Son of
featured.
God, yeah.
Yes, Son of God.
yes.
Yes, that was
We
featured.
definitely have to hear the story about this, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Please.
Oof.
Again.
Okay. So, Son of God is the song that it's basically about suicide. Okay. Like, so one of my close friends ended up, taking his life. One, it was just I was feeling it. Okay. This song I wrote in 20 minutes, by the way. I wrote the song in 20 minutes because I was really going through the emotions, and then I did the job in the sense that like the next day I had an assignment to complete. I like they were like, oh, this is what you're going through. Like this is what you have to deliver to like class. You have to bring this to class. You have to bring a song. And I was going through all of the emotions, and then I didn't know what to do. And I was like, how do I function? And then I was like, let me just take this and write a song about it and then like submit it for class, you know? But then like I started writing and then I started getting very intricate into the details because see, for me, there's a very unique word in music called prosody. Okay, like in songwriting mainly, it is like when notes have certain intentions or meanings. So, um, so like I would, so there's a like when I would sing the song, I started setting up this thing, which was like, he was feeling just fine, but the fine, that word would be placed on a note called a tritone.
Ominous.
Yes, which is very dissonant, So he was feeling just fine. Like, so I would hit a tritone. So, and like every time I sang that, like different words, like, so great, fine, all right, okay, like it would hit on a tritone. So, like, throughout the song, like you're listening to a journey of someone who's like going through something, and then eventually, like, it's like, okay, I've taken my life, so while you're listening to it, I'm saying all of the like all the things that are pointing towards he's feeling okay, but the tritone is hinting at like because I was trying to depict depression. I was trying to capture it, so when I was writing it itself, I was like, okay, I will use this to make people say that I am using this word to depict that he's okay, but the note is telling you that something is not okay.
That's beautiful.
Wow. Oh, it's insane. It's insane. It gives me a lot of more depth into this song, to be honest.
Gaman was actually featured in Rolling Stones. We have to congratulate Gaman for this. No, there'll be, I'm sure, people all over India, independent musicians who are aspiring to get featured in such, magazines as well as their works. They want to get it featured. So, what would be like, since you have been in that place, what would be your tip?
Firstly, it made me feel great because I was like, okay, this is really good for me. Like, I'm glad that like a magazine like Rolling Stone is obviously picking, my song up and is willing to feature. I actually knew one of the writers over there who covered me for a past event on the Hindu. So like he was doing a gig. So that's how I got his email. So I just, like when I was writing the song was a pure passion project. It was not like when after I wrote the song and once I started production and doing the music video for it, right? It was a pure passion project because the music video is like, I like to try and show the music video to people because it follows the same example. We brainstormed for about 6 months to figure out how are we going to show depression. It's a tough topic to talk about. How are we going to show depression, like, while making it look like it is actually depression. So we used water, which was the main guy would always be wet. Everyone around him is always dry, but you would never notice this, but none of them would notice this.
So this was as a sample you used what inside the track?
No, like in the video.
The video.
Like,
In the video.
In the video we used water.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
And then when I sent this over to the guy at Rollingstones, and he saw, you're like, dude, this is beautiful. Like, he's like, yeah, this is very powerful, and like it's dark, and it's awesome. So I was like, yeah, would you be open to like putting this on? And he was like, yeah, sure, I would love to. And when he put it on, a lot of people read it, and then they came and they were like, yo, you're on Rolling Stone. I'm like, yeah, I know. But then like I never took it as as any way of like being smug, because I never promoted the song in the way that I want, because like there's a lot of like promotional ideas and that you do, and you do content and you roll it out, and then you're like trying to build. I didn't do any of that, like, because that wasn't the point of this project. The Rolling Stones thing was beautiful that it happened, but like a lot of people will come and say, oh, you could have milked this, and I'm like, sure, but like that's not what I was going for, So I got this, and then people were like really happy about it, and then it helped me get my visa also, because
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
because I have an O1 visa for the USA, yeah, it like I sometimes I go and read it because it's cute, and I have my photo like that, but yeah, I hope I get more.
What is collaboration to you?
Yeah, how it works for you?
Okay. Depends. Depends on because the problem with the word collaboration today. Okay.
He's very, very diplomatic in his approach now.
Yes.
The problem with that is that it can be used as a word to easily take advantage of certain musicians. Like, you can be invited onto a project where it'll be told, hey, it's a collaborative project, but then it's purely for the benefit of someone else, Like, it's always important to understand that a collaboration means that a collaboration means that there is an equal vested interest for both, and like there's an equal payoff for both, like whoever is coming into that project and is collaborating should walk away with everything like to some equal extent, like there should be something in it.
Yeah, makes sense.
Makes a
lot of sense.
So I've collaborated with a lot of artists. Like, so I think collaboration is like, you are also investing and you are putting something and you are walking away, versus working for is like, you are getting paid and you are doing projects for somebody. That is how I see it. But like, yeah, I think I've worked for some crazy artists. I've collaborated with some fun artists. I think one of my, like, you guys know, one of my most like favorite people that I worked for was A.R.Rahman. No, man, he was awesome to work with. He was so much fun to work with. I think I worked with him for like that. So the main project I did for him was on this Amazon Prime project called Harmony with A.R. Rahman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I played the bass solo for the title track.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah. So, and the bass, so it's a like the title track is a bass solo. So I'll tell you, like, it's a very funny story. So like, yeah, so I knew his manager Hiral, who was my senior at KM, and after I went to Berklee and I came back, she found out I was in town, so she called me up and she's like, "Can you play bass?" I'm like, "I can't play bass," because when Hiral, like, when A.R. Rahman's manager's calling you and being like, "Can you play bass?" If she says, "Can you play violin?" I'll say yes. I can play, dude. I can play. Okay.
Get the job and
Get the job. Get the job, dude. Yeah, I'll say yes. I'll figure out how to play violin on the way to the gig. Okay.
That's nice.
No, but it was just a can-do mentality. I was like, yeah, I can play bass. So then I walked in. I met with him. He was like, you went to Berklee? I was like, yes. And then, like, I sat there for like 1-2 hours, and like he was just asking me to play things that I've composed, things that he's heard, the old jazz standards, old classical music. I was just playing things for him, you know, and then like you know very fun memory. Like he said something so beautiful and so nice. Okay, so he just like came, like one of these things were just like, oh yeah, this, like, can you play this? Someone else, one of the engineers, or someone was there, like, can you play this? And sir itself was like, he can play anything, come. Okay.
Oh,
It was so
Really,
sweet. It was so sweet when he said
that's
that. I felt so happy when he said that. I was like, bro, you're saying that. I will never say that. I never believe that, bro. Like, the second I got into like the recording booth, right? And he's in there, right? It's just immediate, like, your mind will open and will be like, I don't care how sleepy I am, I will record now. And you go, dude. It's so, I love the way we track in, like, if you're doing for film, like, if you're doing like in a commercial, like, set, at least for him, right? It's fast. As long as you don't have like technical issues in the studio, like, they're very quick tracking. You go, you finish your job, and then you leave. Okay. So
and you never knew which project you were recording for.
I didn't know what project I was recording. That's like, it was just that's the thing, like, and like everyone over there didn't know what they were recording. Everyone over there was so locked in, and they're like, I can play anything right now. Okay. All of them had the same mindset. They were like, there is no such, like, the word cannot do is not in my vocabulary right now. Okay. Was there like I was just mentally phased, my heartbeat was going like, the mind is always like that, like, and he played like a motif idea, and like, something like this, can you build on it? I was like, yes, I can. Okay. Because I will never say no, I can't.
not this time, no.
No, no, yes, I can. So then he went and he was tracking the other artists. He was like, doing that. I was sitting at the back and I was just like writing. And after about like 10-15 minutes, he looked back, he's like, are you ready? Like, yeah. Like, back. Okay, cool. I went in, I did a couple of takes. I mean, I did maybe like four to five takes. And he's like, great job. And all of that. Okay. And then like 6 o'clock, 6:30, it ends. I go home, I sleep. Next day's manager texts me and she's just like, great job recording. Sir's going to use your bass in the project. I'm like, I tracked so much bass. I don't know what he's going to use, but I'll get featured, I'll get credited. I'm happy.
That's all.
That's all. Beautiful.
That's all,
Yeah. And then, like, 2 months later, my friend sends me, like, a link, and then I open it and it's a trailer. And then, like, the first thing I'm hearing is and I'm like, where have I heard this before? Okay. This thought process, by the way, happened in a matter of like milliseconds. Okay. It's like, where have I heard this before? I have heard this. This sounds very familiar. Who played this? I played this. When did I play this? A.R.Rahman. I played this. Wait, this is me. And I went, oh my God. Okay. And like the trailer is happening and I'm saying, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Okay. My mom goes like, what happened? And I'm like, I'm hearing me, and she's like, oh my God. So then I was like, holy shit. And it was beautiful. Like, and then the show came out, and then like like the title, the tracks going, and then it's like title music. Composer, A.R.Rahman. Right below him, bass guitar, down audio. Like, my name was there, bro. I was like, oh my God. I was so happy. I got like, like, it was such a nice project to work on because it just showed me, how nice it is when like your musicians are so focused, and how fast and efficient it is when everyone is locked in. So pressure at the right amount with the right capability is a very beautiful thing.
Let's start with the analog or digital.
Analog.
Okay. Pedal you can't live without.
MXR Univibe.
Okay. And worst gig ever.
Bro, I prepared one day before for 20 songs, at least went there, did nothing, bro. It's terrible. Okay, next.
Okay. Collab dream.
Sufjan Stevens.
Okay. We might have,
I
might have to look
I don't know.
look her up.
This is
Yeah.
like big names.
Yes. Okay. With that, we are wrapping the rapid fire. Yadi is one of the few friends of mine who tries so much and he does deliver so much. And for that, I have to thank him. I had to thank him either ways. So I'll do it here with the start of the season 3. And I would thank Gaman also for coming.
Thank you so much for having me, by the way. This was so much fun. I didn't know what to expect, but this was amazing.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, bro. High five. And this is CHIG. We call up independent musicians. We discuss stuff. And hopefully we keep more and more episodes coming up for you guys. If you guys did like this video, follow these independent musicians. Check their profiles. Go through their work and follow them.
We call them independent artists.
Independent artists. So yeah, do check their profiles and support the independent artists. It is a vibrant community which is building up, and each and every one of your support for artists like Gaman would be great. And do check us.
I'm forgetting to see the camera.
So I'm speaking at the.
I'm speaking there.
So do check us our work also. To my left we have Yadi Boy. Yadi Boy is an independent artist as well.
CHIG
CHIG
3.
CHIG 3. And I myself, I'm Chandra Karnakaran. I'm a music producer and an independent artist. Check my works. And thank you so much, Gaman, coming inside the podcast.